Even Floyd, like when you make yourself like we got issues on your anger, he's still the best fighter out there. Until somebody beat him, that's who he is.
Do you think he should step back in the ring?
I think he got to right now because the money gone.
So the money's really gone?
Yeah. That's what you think. It's fight, get the money, spend the money, fight.
All that money?
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
So is it just his overhead is so high on a day-to-day, month-to-month? Like
I don't even want to talk about it. Like with the lifestyle, that money's gone, trust me. Now it's like, you call him, he'll be at your local hosting in a nightclub because you need that action right now.
Wow.
Are Floyd's comments potentially in breach of contract? He could blow the whole fight up and never fight, and also have taken a cash advance on the fight he may not ever have. He's broke! I'm sorry. It's just the truth. Floyd is so badly hurting for money that this is the stuff he's doing. Knowingly signing contracts for a pro fight just to go and publicly undermine it while taking a cash advance. Essentially going, cool, I need that money now. Who cares about the fight?
Sources say Floyd Mayweather is under a lot of financial stress right now because the IRS put a lien on his property for missing taxes that add up to about $7.3 million between 2018 and 2023. Mayweather owes back taxes to the IRS, and some of his homes and assets are being held on lien until the full amount is paid. If that doesn't happen, the assets will be taken away. This story comes from Business Insider, but Ring magazine also wrote about it. They said that the IRS has put a lien on Mayweather's property in Las Vegas because of unpaid taxes from 2018 and 2023 that have grown to the huge amount of $7.3 million. This isn't just a small problem that's been blown out of control. Now that the debt is paid off, the government has stepped in and frozen all property in Las Vegas. If it isn't, those things could be taken away.
You think he's talking this trash because he wants a rematch? You think he actually wants
Absolutely.
You think he wants a rematch?
Look, another reason why he's crawled out of his rock, he needs money.
You think he needs money?
Absolutely.
He's always flossy.
It's absolutely, he needs money.
You think he's going
Once
broke?
Again, come on. Fighters like that always go broke.
He's always spending, so I guess.
Absolutely. Look, he's not fighting anymore, so that big money's not coming in. Look at what happened to Mike Tyson. He made what, $500 million?
Right.
You think you can spend $500 million overnight? Absolutely.
It's especially troubling that this is happening at the same time that Mayweather is in trouble for his money habits and his upcoming fight with Manny Pacquiao.
He's like, Mayweather's broke. I said, no. He's like, no, really. Mayweather's broke. Now, I don't know if it's true.
Right.
This is what this guy told me. I'm like, how could he be broke? He's like, yo, he spends like crazy.
Yeah.
Spends like
I
crazy.
mean, it only could go but so long. I mean, and you're not fighting.
Yeah.
Because I don't see Mayweather even doing any goofy like that.
But you would think that your investments would continue to grow.
Right.
As long as you keep your spending under wraps.
Floyd said the rematch was just an exhibition, but sources say he agreed to a real fight, which could lead to legal problems if the terms of the deal aren't kept. At the same time, he is said to have used the same fight contract as collateral for a loan, which raises more questions about his financial health behind the scenes.
Is that what he's feeling? But he signed a real fight.
So it's for sure.
Yes, the contract that we signed is a real fight.
Real fight. Okay. Yeah, because I know he said
I wouldn't fight an exhibition.
No exhibition. It's either real fight or not.
Yeah, it's a real fight. Yeah.
Is Fear still in Las Vegas?
That's the contract that he signed. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so it's still happening then.
he has to remember that.
But it's still on. It's still happening.
Oh yeah, we did sign the contract already, so there's no reason why.
Why wouldn't?
Why wouldn't?
Yeah. All right.
Also, several Mayweather gyms are said to have closed because workers weren't paid and the landlord was having trouble paying the rent. Pacquiao even bought one of the gyms and changed its name. It is said that workers quit because they weren't getting paid, which raises more questions about how operations are managed. Now there are a lot of people involved, like the IRS, business partners, and investors, and they may all be looking for answers at the same time. For someone whose whole image is built around money and power, this situation goes against everything they believe in.
I done boxed everybody. I boxed everybody. And it's so crazy. Like, I had a lot of great days. I had a lot of bad days in the gym. but I tell them I never have bad paydays.
Dimitri Salita told me a story that one time a big heavyweight, a known heavyweight, challenged you. You told Leonard to go get your bag and you dropped him with the body shot.
In a boxing gym, it don't count. You can have good days, you can have bad days. You know, a lot of times guys do good in the gym. You know, they be happy. They feel like if you're doing good with Floyd Mayweather in the gym, oh, I want a world title, Well, you got to really look at this now. Slow down. You go home to an apartment. You know, I go home to a palace. There's a difference.
Now, Floyd,
you know, when you say your name, when they say these fighters' names, they say thousands and millions. When you say Money Mayweather, you say billions.
Mayweather and his lawyers have been quiet, which adds to the mystery. There are a lot of moving parts in this case, and none of them seem clear. It's clear that this is one of the worst situations Mayweather has been in outside of the ring. It will be interesting to see if it ends peacefully or if it turns into a bigger legal and financial battle.
Owe that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to pay.
Neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You can sell.
And just as Floyd starts to feel like a paperwork storm is about to happen, Timothy Bradley steps in and, instead of getting upset, says, "Hold on, things might be going just the way Floyd wants them to in this case." Bradley isn't blindly supporting the situation. He's looking at it from the point of view of a fighter, saying, those advance payments, that's leverage if you structure it right. He means that Floyd might not have had a hard time going from a real fight to a show if he had gotten the money ahead of time and locked it up in a certain way. That could be a plan. I'm not sure if Mayweather did that or not, but
I don't know if Mayweather did that, but you can. You can put a non-refundable attachment on this and be like, all right, you can, hey, I need an advancement for training. I need $3-4 million or whatever for training expenses. And if they agree to say yeah, and he put in a contract that is non-refundable, it's free money.
At this very moment, I believe that is the most Floyd-like thing that could happen. Bradley says Floyd is already 10 steps ahead of everyone else because he is taking care of his duties, easing the pressure, and then changing the rules to fit his current situation as a 50-year-old boxer who doesn't want to fight until everything makes sense. But here's the catch. Bradley himself says, yeah, if you signed up for a real fight, then you signed up for a real battle. If you change the main plot, bad things will happen.
It's basically free money. So we know, Mayweather was, it's been reported, I should say, allegedly, that, he's been, a little upside down on some of his taxes and some of his properties. And he needed to come back and fight and take care of that. Well, he got some cheese from that advance.
He did get some cheese out of that progress, though. That's why Floyd may be acting like a businessman, but everyone around him still expects him to be a fighter. And that's where things could get bad. Bradley even says Floyd may have already taken care of some of his money problems with the advance money. Which changes the story again, because it is no longer about Floyd's urgency, but about him trying to get ahead. But the pressure from outside doesn't go away. Partners, the IRS, and contracts are all very interested. This means the question isn't just about what Floyd wants to do. The question is whether he can really change everything around him to make his plan work. You also can't say for sure with Floyd.
I just know that money he received, I'm pretty out, man, damn it. I don't know for sure, but damn it, I'm probably about, I know I'm 85, 90%. I'm telling you, because I don't think he'll be doing this. This is business. So he's just saying, I understand it was a real fight, but now I want to change it. I want to change it now. I got my advancement. Now I want to change it.
And just as Bradley is breaking things down, like they're in business class, Shane Mosley walks in and changes the mood completely. Not accepting contracts or percentages, they are just refusing to accept truth. This man has been in there with both of them, so it feels different. Mosley isn't making a big promise. He doesn't want to say anything, like he knows too much to be brave. And that's what makes it real. He only says, look, Floyd looks different from the other guy. It might move a little more slowly now, but it's easy to touch. Your brain tells you right away, okay, Manny has a window. Then he changes the subject and says that Pacquiao might be having his own problems and training issues. This makes me think, wait, so both guys might be compromised. It stops being about who is better and starts being about who is less worn out. That's why I like how Mosley changes things up again. It's like he's telling you again why this game was so tough in the first place.
Right now, Floyd's not the same Floyd that he was back in the day. So, you know, maybe he's a little bit older and he's not moving as much. And you know that when you get a little bit older, sometimes you don't have the same foot movements, stuff like that, and you're able to get hit with certain shots. So maybe Manny has a chance to get in there and do some stuff. But Manny also had some, seemed like some complications with I don't know if he had some kind of stroke or something in the sparring and stuff like that. I thought I seen. So, I mean, there's stuff going on with him too as well. So, you know, we will see.
Manny brings that volume, confusion, and constant pressure. Floyd, on the other hand, figures things out while he's fighting like he's doing math. Mosley's comment that Floyd was the tougher boxer and Manny the harder puncher says it all in one sentence. One guy tries to break your spirit, and the other tries to hurt you physically. Then he casually brings up the time he hurt Floyd, and you can feel it. He's still thinking, man, if I had my legs that night, which is the thing about Mayweather. One chance only. Don't miss it, or you'll never get it back. Now use that in your life. There are older versions, reactions are slower, and there is less room for mistake. This rematch doesn't feel like unfinished business anymore. It looks like a brand new fight, but the names are the same. The hard part is that we can't stop thinking about what they were. But this fight is still about them.
The harder puncher was Manny Pacquiao, but the most difficult was Mayweather.
Okay.
As far as, you know, his IQ. He had a better IQ, but Manny had a harder working, you know, repetition where he'll come at you. He's working hard. He's trying to get you. Whereas Mayweather is more technical and will sit there and pick you apart.
And just as Mosley is breaking it down like a business playbook, Manny Pacquiao comes in with the calmest punch possible. It hits even harder because there is no noise or fanfare, just quiet confidence. As soon as Manny starts talking about humility, discipline, and faith, you think, this is going to stay reflective. Then he goes right to the heart of the matter. What it means is we signed a real fight. His advance was given to him. What are we going to talk about? Which makes me think, that's the purest pressure you can use. There should be no attacks or showmanship. Just facts that are repeated until they feel uncomfortable. Manny is acting like this is already decided, as if there is no possible world where this could become an exhibition without looking like a step back. This is why everyone else is arguing about the possibilities.
You know, if you ask me, as a boxer, I don't need somebody to push me to work hard, work more, but I did. I always put that in my mind when I'm in training. I have to do extra mile to get that condition.
Then he says it again in the same tone. There's no reason or problem. There's only a straight line. I think that's what makes it dangerous. You can't really argue with someone who doesn't care about the issue. He also says that he pushes himself in camp by doing more than 30 rounds every day, getting ready as if this were a real war, not just a show. And you can hear the change even when he doesn't speak. On one side are changes, talks, and possible turns. A man on the other side says, I'm training for a fight, period. Then things change. It's no longer just about money and contracts. In the end, it comes down to who is really committed to the version of the fight that was promised. Manny has already made it clear that he is there.
Purpose of exhibition that was long time ago. year after our first fight, but I didn't agree. And then I want a real fight. So he signed what I signed. He signed a real fight, and I signed a real fight. And he got his advance. So there's no reason to make excuses of that. So that's true.
All of this makes it feel like more than one story when put together. Something is building up on top of something else, making it hard to ignore what's going on below. On the one hand, you have to deal with contracts, the IRS, and the business side closing in. It's very unclear what's going on behind the scenes after all of this. You wonder, hold on, what if this isn't chaos? When Bradley flips it over, what if this was calculated? Floyd may still be playing chess the same way he always has, but he may be in a different part of his life. And just as you start to think that way, Mosley steps in and puts you back on track by telling you that the body has limits no matter how smart the moves are. Timing changes even now. Besides, this Floyd is not the same as the one who made that image years ago. Then Manny walks in, calm and collected. He doesn't even try to win the story. He just states the facts as if they don't need to be defended. And things are a lot worse because it doesn't matter who is right or wrong anymore. It's about who really does what they said they would do.
Well, we all look forward to that fight. I mean, he signed a real fight, and he got his advance. So then now makes excuses. No.
That's where everything fits together. There is business versus duty, strategy versus expectation, and legacy versus truth. Floyd might be trying to keep the situation under control, like he has done in the past, changing the rules, keeping himself safe, and making sure everything goes his way. This time, though, the problem is that there are too many moving parts, too many people, and too much focus on each step. This is no longer just a fight. There are legal, financial, and public effects of every choice. Floyd's success has been built on always being one step ahead, but this could be one of those rare times when pressure comes from every direction at once. The real question now isn't whether the fight will happen or not, but which Floyd will see. Someone who is a great strategist. Or are things just getting worse enough for people to notice? Manny is stable, ready, and locked in on the other side, and his stance hasn't changed. The fact that one side is shifting makes the difference even stronger. The other side is staying strong.
I'm doing exhibitions, and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight and get a guaranteed 35 million when I'm doing exhibitions and getting 100?
Feel free to share your ideas below. Come on, let's talk about it. Also, don't forget to like, share, and follow 2MMA MOTIVE. We'll see you at the next one.